Okay, so we've discussed value, we've discussed attention, we've discussed getting a bit more into the action-taking side of things. Now I want to talk to you about who are you selling your time and your value to. Now, the reason that we want to go into this is because we really want to start thinking about what's going to give us the best end result, or what's going to get us closest to the opportunity that we're after. Now, if we take our personal skill sets, let's say, for example, you are wanting to create more digital work for yourself, more remote work. How can we do this in the best possible way? How can we get the most amount of value out of our time? How can we get the most amount of value from the business that we're working in, or maybe the business we're trying to create? Well, let's take, for example, I've got a skill set, and let's say that skill set is painting. There's a very famous story, don't know if you've seen it, of the guy who painted Google's office and redecorated it. He was actually offered some shares in return instead of payment, because Google at the start couldn't afford to pay the guy who was redecorating their office. So they offered him some shares, some equity, and he turned it down and instead took payment. And those shares famously became worth billions of dollars. So the guy basically turned down billions of dollars in order to get paid in the moment. Now, I'm not saying that you should give up your time for money and instead take equity in everything that you do, because it would take too long effectively to run anything in life, wouldn't it? I mean, it would just take too long to get your business off the ground, or get new skill sets, or get new opportunities. But the point is that if we're using our skill sets to our best advantage, is it better for us to sell our skill sets to lovely Dorothy over here, or provide the same skill set in the same amount of time to someone like Google? What do we think is going to create the most amount of opportunity? Now, the difference that we've got in the day and age that we live in at the moment with the internet and the fact that everything's at the edge of our fingertips, is that we can potentially contact Google. And we probably could contact Google just as easy as we could contact Dorothy. Now, lovely old Dorothy still needs some painting done in our house. And she might pay you, let's say, £150 a day for it. Who knows? Good old Dorothy. But maybe Google might offer you the opportunity to then become an intern, because you show so much interest. You created so much sort of, opportunity in the way that they thought about what the value was that you were delivering. And the difference is it's just a mindset. It's just a mindset shift. If we can start thinking a little bit more about how do we get in front of Google, how do we get attention, and then how do we take action and deliver value to Google instead of delivering it to Dorothy? What's going to provide us with the most amount of purpose, mission, finances, for providing the same skill set with the same amount of time? And you've got to ask yourself that question. Who are the main stakeholders in your industry? Who are the people that could potentially bring you the most amount of value in your own journey? But how do we do that? We provide the value, and we provide the attention that's needed to get in front of these people. So it's just a little mindset shift for you. I want you to think about, who are you selling your time and value to? Because the chances are the money that you earn at the end of the day, the fulfillment that you get out of the work you do, is likely going to be at a higher level or have higher opportunity if you're selling your time to Google, or selling your opportunity, whatever it could be, rather than selling it to somebody who maybe doesn't have the ability or leverage to give you the opportunities that you want. So a little thought for you.